Welcome to another episode of Two Dudes Movie Reviews. I'm Kurt. He's Randy.
Bam.
And today we're talking about the all-American classic starring Kurt Russell called Escape from New York. Boom.
The greatest American athlete, Kurt Russell. What is bad to say about Kurt Russell? Absolutely nothing.
He's the boss, man.
I love Kurt Russell.
He is the boss. So Kurt Russell, he's been everything since he was a teenager. You know, which makes me think he's being Me Too'd for like 30 years.
You can't say that. You can't say that. No, not Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's Manly Man. He started, I think he was about 15 years old when he was on Lost in Space, if anybody remembers that. And if you don't, it just means you're younger than I am.
All right, Lost in Space. But we saw it in reruns anyway.
That's true. But let's talk about Escape from New York. Not Escape from L.A. I wanted to escape from the movie theater with Escape from L.A.
It wasn't that bad.
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was just, no. But Escape from New York, what's not to let you got Ernest Borgnine in there.
Ernest Borgnine, man.
So basically what happens is he's the iconic character of Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken.
You can't go wrong with Snake. What kind of mom's going to name her son Snake?
Only in the 80s do you have a character named Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken, and he ruled. And so I think he's in jail, but if the president basically gets kidnapped and he's thrown into New York, which has been turned into a giant jail.
His plane crashes, and then they kidnap him out of his safety capsule.
That's right. So what they're going to do is they're going to let Kurt Russell go, but they do something to him. I'm not going to tell you what, but he'll die if he tries to escape because the government wants him to go in.
He's the only guy who can do it.
And so he goes in. Do you remember how he got in there? A glider.
Heck yeah, I remember how he landed on a building, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so he goes in, meets Ernest Borgnine.
Who's a cab driver. Ernest Borgnine's a cab driver.
You have to have a cab driver in jail.
And the thing about Ernest Borgnine is this. You know, by the time we saw Ernest Borgnine in Escape from New York, he hadn't really been on a scene for 100 years. So he had all this respect when he was younger. He vanishes, basically, shows up again in Escape from New York, and we didn't know much about him, so he just seemed like a doofus. Meanwhile, he's a freaking Academy Award winner, man.
Ernest Borgnine rules. He was doing things between then, and he's done things since, and I think he's like 98 right now.
Is he alive?
I think so. He might have died recently, but I don't know, but the guy was awesome. Let's get back to some Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. So anyway, you know, as you would imagine, there's a lot of violence and hijinks.
And Adrienne Barbeau's in it.
Adrienne Barbeau, man, classic
from
the 80s.
From what show? What show was he
from?
From
Not Fright Night. What was it
from
called?
Maude.
Yeah, she was from Maude, but she was also in Creepshow.
Oh, she's in Creepshow too.
Boom.
We'll talk about that one some other day. But let's go back to Escape from New York.
So Escape from
for the third time.
So as in almost every movie, there's a bad guy, and he's so bad that he has all these guys follow him around because they are afraid of him, and so he's the gang, and they all want Snake Plissken because Snake Plissken has this reputation. You're always unclear about why he has this reputation, but everybody knows who he is. And he winds up in this massive rumble, and of course he has to win. And long story short, saves the day, all that business.
Basically the same character you always see Kurt Russell in. Or not always, but 99% of the time. Except more awesome.
In those days. Now that he's old, you know, they let him have facial hair.
Oh, he looks
good.
He's still great. And honestly, I saw the thing he did where he was Santa Claus last Christmas.
No.
Great movie.
I ain't watching that.
Whole family, too.
No, I'm not watching
You need to watch it.
His whole family was in it?
No, his whole family was in it. Your whole family can watch it.
Oh, all right. No, not interested. Anyway, so he was also great in The Thing. We've got to do that.
The Thing is great. But let's get back to Escape from New York.
Anyway, so Escape from New York. It all works out in a way that he escapes and he saves the day.
And they were going to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to rip him off at the end and kind of go back on their deal.
They were.
Because the man is always not only holding him down, holding you down.
Man's holding you down, man. You got to bust a move like Kurt Russell. And you're not going to know what move he busts until you see Escape from New York.
Definitely worth watching it on wherever you can. Netflix, rent it. A lot of people own this movie. I'd go with it.
So let me tell you something. I watched this movie probably a few times then, a few times in the 90s, and hadn't seen it for a long, long time. My daughter was here. She had never seen this American classic, so, you know, I kind of insisted. And we set up and we watched that movie. We watched that and Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little
She's
China.
a fan.
We're going to do that. Yeah. I'm a fan of Kurt Russell.
You can't not like Kurt Russell.
I'm a fan of your daughter, too.
Yeah, see there?
So,
and she likes Kurt Russell. What do you want?
Bam. It comes full circle. Everybody loves Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Nobody says
Yeah.
anything about him. So go see Escape from New York. Leave a message down below. You know what to do. And we'll see you later.
Thanks.